Today on Diabetes 360, we are actually going to take a virtual grocery store tour. We're going to discuss healthy foods and making healthy choices while you're doing your grocery shopping to better take care of your diabetes and your other health risk factors like heart disease, hypertension, or high blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. So, the first thing that you should always consider when going grocery shopping is that you should shop from a list. Having a list will help you to save about 17 to 20% on your grocery bill. If you shop with a list and stick to your list, avoid shopping when you're hungry or when you're thirsty. If you're hungry, you'll buy things that you really don't like or may not eat, and you're not only wasting food, but you could be increasing your calorie intake by having a lot of snacky foods or sweets. Don't be influenced by those end of aisle displays or samples or discounts. Remember to stick to your list, buy only the foods that you need. Those end displays are actually there to attract your attention, to encourage you to buy things that you had not planned to buy. Take time and read the label. You should always read labels to understand what nutrients are being provided in the foods and if they meet your dietary restrictions or your plan for your meal. Now, the first aisle you go down when you go in most grocery stores is the fruit and vegetable aisle. Remember that to have a healthy diet, you need to have about 5 to 9 servings from the fruit and vegetable section. The vegetables, most of them other than peas, corn, and potatoes, do not raise your blood sugar levels. So these are foods that you can have in abundance. You can have as many as you like. Just remember to buy fruits and vegetables in season to save the most money. If the fruit that you desire or the vegetable you desire is not in season, the best way to buy that is to buy the frozen. Canned vegetables have salt added. Canned fruits often have sugar added. So be sure to read your labels and see which would be the best buy for you. Then you go into your meat section, and in your meats you want to be buying your leanest cuts of meats, concentrating on poultry like chicken or turkey. Fish is lean and has the healthy fats for you. Your very lean beef is acceptable, but the marbling and the fat on the outside is cholesterol, which we would prefer you to avoid. Lean pork is okay. Remember, though, that ham and sausage and bacon have added salt as a preservative and may not be as healthy. Using the leanest cuts of meat and using only a portion about the size of the palm of your hand is a healthy way to choose meats. Then we go into our spreads or margarine aisle, and you want to remember that you're looking for those fats or spreads that have non-hydrogenated fats and no trans fatty acids. Those hydrogenated fats and trans fatty acids are the ones that raise your cholesterol levels. Butter is cholesterol. It's pure fat from an animal and is not healthy. And there are rumors that butter is healthier than the margarines, which are chemically processed, but that is not true. Butter and saturated fats raise your cholesterol levels, and cause more chance for heart attack and stroke. Baking and breads aisle, usually you want to make sure that you have 3 servings per day of whole grains. This is to get enough fiber in your diet. So make sure that you're reading the label and reading the ingredients label on your whole grain products. The first 3 items, one of the first 3 items on that ingredient list should say whole grain. If it says processed flour or white flour or some type of flour, it's usually not as healthy as the whole grain. When you get into your cereal and pasta and rice aisle, you want to make sure you're choosing the whole grain cereals, the ones with the least amount of sodium added and the least amount of sugar added. Your pasta, you can buy whole grain pastas. You can buy pastas that are made with vegetables, but those still need to be limited in the portion sizes. They're not so healthy that you can eat all you want. Your rice, you're better with the brown rice than the white rice because it still has more of the bran on it. You want to make sure that you're making your healthy portions when you have those foods. Usually I say a portion that you can hold in the palm of your hand is about the right size portion. We also need to think about the types of beverages that we're choosing, especially avoiding as much as possible the soda aisle. You may have a limited amount of diet sodas or sugar-free sodas, but water is your best choice. Even flavored waters is healthier for you. Carbonation actually can cause your bones to be more thin, your teeth to, the calcium in your teeth to be depleted, and then you're more prone to having cavities. So try to go very sparingly with those types of drinks. And definitely don't waste your carbohydrates on foods that have only sugar in them, like sodas or sweet tea. Then we have our nutrition at the deli. It's very hard to find foods in the deli that we could call healthy. But when you're choosing luncheon meats, go for the ones that say less sodium. They will have less of an effect on your blood pressure. If you're buying the prepared items from the deli, go with the baked or the broiled or the stewed items rather than the ones in gravy and sauces. The sweets and the cakes and the pies, even if they say sugar-free, that does not mean that they are carb-free. So they need to be calculated when you're calculating for your carbohydrate content for each meal. You want most often to shop the perimeter of your store. That means you go in, you have your produce, then you have your meats, then your dairy, and then, sparingly go down the aisles and get those whole grain products that you need. But also remember that the things that are at eye level may not always be the most healthy. Usually you have to look up on the higher levels or on the bottom levels to be able to find the most healthy choices. Limit your snack and sweet foods. They are usually highly processed, have lots of calories, fats, sugar, and sodium. Choose more fruits and vegetables. Go for like a rainbow on your fruits and vegetables of colors. The purples, the reds, the yellows. More whole grains, fat-free or low-fat dairy products, and avoid last-minute temptations. that's where you usually end up spending extra money. Take care of your diabetes one day at a time. I'm Carol Carter from Wellmont Diabetes Treatment Center, and this has been Diabetes 360.